Listen, bro. Law 41, 48 laws of power. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. And it seems like everybody's forgotten this, right? You got Tate, you got Hamza, you got Goggins, you got those religious forms of self-improvement, and you got those, like, weird culty ones where they tell you that you'll, like, achieve eternal greatness if you drink goat cum or some shit. But really what these people were here to do was not show you how to live your life, but they were here to give you stepping stones to achieving your unique individual purpose. You see, if you step into a great man's shoes, you not only have to live up to what that person has accomplished, but supersede that in order to look like you amount to anything, right? Imagine you learn from David Goggins and then you try and be better than David Goggins. You try and be like David Goggins. Well, your value as a human is always going to be compared to him. And I'm telling you right now, it's a lot harder than you think it is to be greater, to look greater than the person who did it first. You're always going to be in their shadow. You're always going to be less than them because you're never going to be anything more than them. Even if you surpass them in accomplishments, you are still subject of their ideology and you are still never going to have that unique individual purpose that is cemented within your biology. Really what all of this is here to do is to build you up from absolutely nothing, absolutely not knowing what you are, to a person capable of choosing your own life path and choosing it accordingly, according to your own strength and your own desires that aren't placed onto you by, social media and school and all of that. It's about breaking free from that. Going to the gym was about finding your masculinity for the first time. It doesn't have to become your thing. These are not teachings of how you should live your life, but they build you up into a person capable of building their own life. Everyone has a unique inclination inside of them. I just don't want to see any more people getting stuck and trapped in these ideologies because they're useful, and in the beginning when you're just like a little weak fucking fat skinny fat loser, it takes David Goggins yelling at you, calling you a pussy to get you to do some push-ups, to build yourself up a little bit until you're competent enough to actually break free of the obedience conditioned into you by the school system and the garbage media that was making you like everybody else. There is a period where you need to submit fully to these ideologies. And a lot of people disagree with that and say, it's bad to be extreme, but it's important to be extreme. It takes extremes to change. I'll tell you one thing right now. Everything is like everything, right? People are like governments. Governments are like people. So if you want to abstract your construct of the universe, or you want to use the concept of the universe to abstract yourself, you can seriously just look at the world around you and tell me what you see and then apply it to yourself. Okay? If you look at a government, if everybody got what they wanted appeased, right? Because everyone's going to have conflicting ideologies, then nothing would truly get changed. If you wanted a government grounded in subjectivity, then nothing would get done, which might be the better way to do it because, people are bad at playing God, but that's not the way it is. If you want to make a change, then it has to have this sort of objective reasoning to it where it has to be extreme. Politics and choosing between who you want to be your president and what policies you want is a form of extremes. It's always going to be a battle of negatives. It's not this is what I want. It's this is what I want to deal with. There is a negative thing that comes with each president, that comes with each style of government. And it's about whichever you need right now. If the community is too liberal and it's harming them because that will harm them, then you go more Republican. If it's too Republican and it's harming you, then go more liberal. But it's just bouncing back and forth, right? That balances things out in the end. Sadly, we're yet to be there in the real world, but you can do this with yourself. So if you're a fucking loser right now, and you do all the shit that you've heard about, like you're playing video games, you're eating junk food, you're doing drugs, you're doing absolutely nothing, you don't even know who the fuck you are or what you want to do, you should probably go into some more extremes. You should probably listen to David Goggins when he calls you a pussy and tells you to drop down and do push-ups right now. Extremity is not toxic as long as you are aware of the extremity. As long as you don't believe it to be absolute truth and you are willing to change, right? One thing that you should never make extreme is, your unwillingness to change. You should never cement yourself in your extremity and say, okay, this is the way things is, and being extreme in that sense. But you can take ideologies into account and follow them ruthlessly until you've gotten the change from that you want. And this is how you really shape your character. Now, once you've leaned into this and you became this kind of toxic alpha male Tate style thing, then you can start to cut back on it. Then you can start to, introduce more concepts. It's not necessarily cutting back, but consuming different forms of knowledge and looking deeper into yourself and who you are now that you've unlocked the ability to do so. So finding who you really are, and maybe you want to replace certain things. Maybe you don't want to go to the gym as much because maybe your work is more important. Maybe you're a little bit more of an artist and you want to dress up a little bit emo and you want to make music and you want to do some drugs. Maybe you want to have some experiences that are aligned with these ideologies that brought you up. You've got this big ball of clay that was just handed to you. You need to chip away the big chunks first in order to start fine-tuning the details. So with that being said, I've been through this, right? I've been through the whole, Tate thing, the whole Goggins thing, the whole Hamza thing. And it's good. It's good. I don't disagree with it. If you want to go do that, go do that. But to get to this point where I'm at, where I know a little bit more about myself, and I started playing guitar and I started reading books outside of, basic self-improvement, I found out that I really like philosophy and that I'm really into spirituality. I'm really into a lot of things that I haven't seen around on the internet. And that's what gives me this sort of uniqueness to my character, that I can come here and I can teach to you this different form of self-improvement. That's how you're going to make yourself a valuable person in this world. And I think that if you want to get there faster, I'm going to share with you just a few couple of things from all of these different big teachers, from all of these different extremes, that will take you from not knowing who you are and just being weak and needing to change, to changed, to the baseline, to find true purpose, to find your gift and find your service and become who you were truly meant to be. Alright, number one, lean into insecurity. Do not be afraid to use harsh words on yourselves. Don't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm kind of big, but that's okay because I'm accepting of myself. You gotta be like, no, I'm a fucking fat piece of shit. I'm a fucking loser. I have no women. I have no money. You need to be ruthlessly honest in a way that's, sort of overdoing it and making fun of yourself. You need to feel bad if you want to change. Stop making yourself comfortable with your current reality. Next, number two, you're gonna need discipline. You probably know this, bro. Just do it. What's going to make you grow is not feeling like you're going to do it. You're not always going to feel motivated. You need discipline. You need to be able to do it when you don't want to do it. Number three is journaling. Writing is the only way to edit your thoughts. If you're struggling with something and you're sitting here and just, you don't know what to do, honestly, bro, get a piece of paper out. You have no idea how much this has helped me and how much this will help you, because when you can write out the problem and pick it apart and look at it as if you're someone else, it's so helpful. You get shit done so much faster. If you sit down at the end of each day and you write, how can I do better tomorrow? What did I do wrong today? You're not going to ignore it. You're not going to let shit slip through your hands. If you make this a habit, using that discipline, and this is where you start to see that all of these things are connected. Using that discipline, doing it every fucking day, even though you don't want to, it's inevitable that you're going to grow. You're going to see more clearly all of these things that you're doing wrong. And you're going to lean into it. Like I said, number one, leaning into that insecurity. Make yourself feel bad about it so that you want to change. Make yourself feel bad about the fact that you're not disciplined. Write about it. Make it clear. Make it unignorable. And you'll grow. Now, discipline is one thing, but you need to discipline yourself in your health. Because if you discipline yourself in your health, then these things that require discipline are going to require less discipline, because it's going to start feeling good to work out. Imagine waking up in the morning and not being tired. And don't lie to me, I know you wake up and you have this kind of fog about you, you don't really want to get out of bed and you want to lay around. Imagine waking up and just springing out of bed and you're just fucking ready. Imagine waking up with a fucking hard fucking dick, where it feels good to sit down and do work, and it feels good to eat clean, and it feels good to think and to do hard things. All that's connected to your health. You need to diet. You need to exercise. The more you start doing these things, the better they're going to feel. The less discipline they're going to take. The more you can shift that discipline to important matters. And it's this hierarchy of discipline where you become more comfortable with things that allows you to grow. Stillness. You need stillness. You cannot be surrounded by bullshit, fucking looking at your phone all the time, checking messages. Turn that shit off. Step away. You need time for silence and contemplation. If you don't have time for silence and contemplation, you're never going to observe your own life. You're never going to be here. You're never going to know what's wrong. You take that stillness You sit, you look at a fucking tree for some time. I promise you thoughts are going to come to you of everything you're doing wrong and everything you're doing right. And you're going to want to do more of the right. You take that, you discipline yourself to journal about it. You make improvements in your health. The discipline becomes more natural and you grow. Are you seeing how all of this is connected? Learning. Bro, he's doing this one right now. Alright, so good job. But if you learn, it's impossible not to grow. I mean, really think about this, right? You can know absolutely nothing. But if you continue learning, you're going to know something. And that sounds like a fucking stupidly simple statement. But it is inevitable that you will grow if you are learning. Everything that I can't teach you right here, if you just take away this one thing, right? Maybe I'm not so good at explaining these things, but if you keep learning, you're eventually going to learn something that's going to make you grow. You can't do this one thing that you learned about, so you keep learning. Just keep learning. Eventually, you're going to learn the thing that will allow you to do that thing. If you keep learning, you're going to learn how to make improvements. If you just don't stop, if you just keep going, you can't fail. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You can't. Like, do it however you can, bro. If you need to watch fucking Andrew Tate shorts, go for it. When I was about to kill myself, right, that's what I needed to do. I needed to sit in bed and watch 15 Tate shorts before I could do a set of push-ups and then go back to doing it. It was sad, but it started. And because I kept on doing that, it allowed me to start reading books. It allowed me to start fixing my brain, started watching videos like this, started creating things like this and sharing the things that I was learning. Whatever you have to do, just learn all different sources, all different things. And that's all about. Peace out, twin.